Hey, welcome back to Hipster Codes. It's Hipster GW. We're going to look at the FAB assets for these next couple of weeks until October 7th. So if you do not know, you are an Unreal Engine user, you can go to the FAB website, the artist formerly known as the Unreal Engine Marketplace, and they give 3 free assets away, not a month, but now every 2 weeks, which is pretty cool. Sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're mediocre. Every once in a while they might flop, but I mean, hey, it's free stuff, so I go and I grab it every couple of weeks. So yeah, you can grab these for free or unpriced, since there's no such thing as a free lunch, until October 7th. And so what you do is you go to the limited time. Like I said, if you go to the main website, you'll see it here. Get them free. You can click on them. You add them to your cart. You can go here, you can click add to cart. You'll need to be logged in. You add them to your cart, they're going to be completely free. You can choose the license. You know, if you really do care about the revenue sharing, if you plan to make over $100,000, be sure to click this. And the cool thing about the assets this month are all 3 of them are add to project assets, as I would call them. Let me show you what that means real quick. So sometimes if you go to your library, you'll see that there's a lot of assets that you have to create a project for. Like you see this 1996 headquarters. You have to create a whole project. Then you have to migrate that to your own project. But let's look at this week's assets. Let's look at, see the adventure pack. If you go to adventure pack and then you have these characters, you could just add it to your project. Now, I think it was the adventure pack and I can't remember. 2 of these you could add to a 5.6 project. The other one you had to convert to a 5.5, but you could still add it regardless. But yeah, because they were all 3 just add to project type assets, I wanted to show them off. And they're all essentially just like usable 3D assets. So you don't really have to worry about any blueprint code. And actually a couple of them come with really cool blueprint code. But you can see I'm in a default third-person template, and what I did was I added some of these assets. So we have these orbs over here. I guess the 3D orbs are kind of cool. The cool thing about the 3D orbs are you get a bunch of visual effects, it looks like. This is the adventure pack, and with the adventure pack, let's look at the adventure pack first. With the adventure pack, you go down here, you get demo scenes, which I haven't checked out yet, but you can look at the meshes. The really cool thing about the meshes are you have 5 characters, and then you get them separated into UE4 and UE5. So because I'm in a UE5 project using the UE5 mannequin, you can use that. If you have the UE4 skeleton, you'll probably want to use this. And then whenever you go in, here, let me go to UE5. Then whenever you go in, you have the full character or all the separate pieces. So if you want some sort of modular character where you're adding, you know, you can add the hat, you can add the glasses, you can add the backpack, you can go and build it, so on and so forth, here with all these separated items with all the separated meshes, or you could just have the full character. So for this first character, there's actually 2 skeletal meshes. I think this is the one that I was using, and then you have like this one. And so I think that all 5, you essentially get 10. So there's 5 characters. I think they all have 2 fully meshed out rigs, would be the way to say it. And then all you have to do, if you're, say, in the third-person character template, so we'll go to the viewport. You just go to the skeletal mesh asset, and then you can go and switch it right here. So let's say that we wanted a different character. Oh, look, it's some chick. Look at her. She has a funny cat with a helmet on her. And so then we have our adventure pack. We have our adventure character 3. She has this one. I click on it. I can replace it. And it just replaces pretty easily. And so now we can compile, save. We can play the game with the new character. All rigged up. Oh no, her arms look weird, but it's not a big deal. So, like I said, the orbs, you get these orbs, which I guess are kind of cool. I think they have some settings and stuff you can change. You get this black orb, you get this orb, but you also get a bunch of really cool visual effects. So you have this, yeah, it's ENV Sci-Fi, and then you can go to the visual effects. You get a bunch of them. I couldn't get them all to load. And just FYI, whenever you drag out any new visual effect, or a lot of these assets have a ton of shaders that take a ton of time to compile. Let's say I drag this out. See, it's not even compiling the shaders, so I can't get them all to go. I don't know why. I might have to look into that. But we have leaves, you have smoke, so the smoke is really cool. So you can just throw this into your level. I assume it could be added at runtime as well. I don't see why not. We also have these blueprints here where we have, yeah, so that's what this orb is. You have these orbs here that you can use. But you also have a couple of cool things. Like we had the spline-aligned rock. So you can have rocks that's... Oh, they're falling. That's weird. It was looking different yesterday. They weren't all falling. There we go. You see how they're following this spline? I don't know why some have gravity turned on and some don't. That's really odd. But anyway, that's kind of a cool thing. You can change the spline, I assume. Yeah, look, you can change the spline so you could do some sort of weird magic effect if you needed to for whatever reason. And then the third asset was... And then the third asset for the month was the cabin. So you have a bunch of meshes here so you could build your own cabin. You have a bunch of props, which was really cool. So you have a bunch of props. You have foliage that you can use. You have pieces of the house so you could build a modular house. I have not checked out the map yet, so let's check out the rural cabins. Look at this. This is a really cool level. So we have a couple of different cabins here, right? We have a trailer. You have a path. This is really well done. Now, of course, this is fantastic level design. This is something that I really need to get better at, is figuring out how to make something look amazing like this. Because this looks like every asset here is unique, even though obviously I think these are the same, the same cabins. We're reusing the same, all the same foliage over and over again. But yeah, look at this. You get pumpkins. You have an outhouse that you can have Shrek come out of. You have an American flag. It's just fantastic. So you can go and take this. Let's see, what did the... Look! And then it just takes our default third player character, and we can pop them right into the level, and you can walk around. Okay, the size is kind of weird. And also it looks like the collision is kind of weird. So you'll have to mess with it a little bit. I don't know if my character is really tall. I think everything here is kind of small. Like, you make a spooky game with this. Just a spooky horror game. That's what you can make with this week's. It's like the perfect leading into October free asset pack. And can we go swimming? And we died. We drowned. So, yep, those are the assets for the next couple of weeks. They are available for unpriced. They say free. It is unpriced on the FAB marketplace. You just have to go in. You have to claim them before October 7th. If you do it before October 7th, you get to keep them forever. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully I saved you, they're all about 2 gigabytes each. So hopefully I saved you some time from downloading them. And hopefully you think that they're kind of cool, or maybe you hate them. I really don't care. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.